Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm going live on my Facebook page, and I'll wait just a minute. If you're taking a screenshot, you can screenshot all my information, my January host code. Just so you know, if you are going on my Facebook business page, for now, I'm going to be going live on Mondays at 4. I was trying to do Wednesdays, and that just isn't working out on my schedule. So we're going to do Mondays from now on at 4. And of course, if you can't catch it live, please watch the replay and let me know what you think about the videos. I have big news. Tomorrow, celebration begins. You can purchase something on my website for $60 and get to pick out something free, or $120 and get to pick out something even bigger for free. We're going to use some of the paper that is for free at the $60 level. The January to April mini catalog also goes live tomorrow. So lots of exciting things. And we have a new scrapbooking brochure that is online. So oodles of things happening on January 7th in the Stampin' Up! World. So a couple years ago, I did a video on the stack, cut, and shuffle technique. Last time we made 4 cards with a little bit different cutting. This time I cased this one from Lynn Dunn, and you're going to make 3 cards. And we're going to use some of the celebration paper. Because I'm a demonstrator, I get to see it ahead of you and get it. It is gorgeous. This is some of the free paper. I love it. And I just couldn't wait to play with it. It is called Bloom Impressions, and it goes with a ton of different colors. I love it when they go with a ton of colors. So I'm going to show you, these are the ones I made to begin with, and these are made using Azure Afternoon as the background. And I just wanted some nice generic, you could make them Valentine's. It could be just thinking of you, lots of fun sentiments. So today we're going to make them. And I'll at least make one with you so you can see how to do it. And I'm going to use Melon Mambo as my card base. Hi, Tammy. And I'm not sure who else is on there. Welcome. And I am sharing with you, this is what you need. You need 3 pieces of designer series paper. I'm using some of that paper I just showed you. You want to have 3 different patterns. Now, even though this is the same on both sides, you want to have them, and you want to have them facing up if you want it to go this way. You want to have 3 different kinds, and I'll show you how we cut it in a minute. You need a white or any color mat. I'm going to use white because it goes nicely with this. My white mat is 3.5 by 4 3/4. My card base is a regular 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. I also have an inside piece, which I'll put on later. So let's start with the cutting. Oh, the other thing I'm going to share with you is this is from the new mini catalog. We're going to use a stamp set from that called Hugs for Love. I love that it comes with the punch. So I'll show you a little trick on the punch in a second. Let's cut the cardstock first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all together and cut them at the same time. I'm not going to use the gray blade. I'm going to use the dark blade. So I am going to put them in, make sure they're stacked correctly, and they're not. And I am going to put it in at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to cut all 3 at the same time. So I've got this 3/4 inch piece. I'm going to leave it right here for a minute. Then I'm going to put it in again. Make sure it is kind of all together. I'm going to put it in at the 1 inch mark. And I'm going to cut it. So let me show you what I've got and how we're going to organize it. I'm putting my paper trimmer away. I have my 3/4, my 1, and my 1 1/4. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to put these out. Then I'm going to come around and start a different order. And then I'm going to come around and start a different order. And you have 3 different cards. So let me show you. I'm going to keep these together. Just going to move them to the side. Keep these together in order. Move them to the side. And let's start putting these together. So I have my card base. Let's make sure I got the right one. Which I don't. That's the inside. I'm going to get the right one. And I'm going to use 3.5 by 4 3/4. What I'm going to do is put a little green glue. Now, could you use a different side? Totally up to you. I like the 3 that go together, but you can totally do whatever you want. I'm going to leave just a little bit of white. I always tell my stampers to go from the outside first. That way, if you make a boo-boo, you can just kind of fill in the space with the other part. It just seems to work better that way. Move this over. So this is the outside. And then this will be the inside. And if I need to see the beautiful thing about green glue, I can move that over just a smidge. And I have to remember I'm using that side. And I can go ahead and glue it. I can slide it over a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to adhere it to my Melon Mambo card base. Can you put stuff on the outside? Yes. I try to keep them relatively simple, but you can do anything you want to do with it. Could you add a ribbon? Yes. Can you decorate the front any way you want? Yes. The purpose of this, though, is that it's not a super hard design. Is that you can use it and make 3 quick cards using this gorgeous designer series paper. Now, I went ahead and pre-cut a couple of the sayings, and you could pop it up here. I have these glossy dots, which have some of the colors here. You can add some of the glossy dots. I kept these relatively simple because I'm going to be using these in some of my stamping classes this time. And I always like to have one card that isn't super hard to do. And then you get to make choices. Do you want the tiny one on that side? Could you put the tiny piece on that side? Absolutely. There is no right or wrong to this. If you come to my class, you'll have probably 3 different backgrounds to pick from, some different card designer series paper to pick from. Now, I'm not going to show you too much on this one. What I did is I stamped the outside first, and then I stamped the inside so I could center it. Then I punched it out. I want to show you 2 things. The first thing is when you have and you notice some of them get a little bit colored. That does not mean anything. It's totally fine. I put it down, put it right down on a surface, and then I pick it up with my block. Sometimes if you try to pick it up with your block, you might get it like not in the correct spot. That's not correct. It's a little bit off. So you can just set it down, even on the lid there. Let it kind of lose out, or move out, I should say. Then pick it up. So that's what I do for photopolymer. The next thing is, if you are doing one of these, I would stamp the outside first, then put the saying. If you are doing one that doesn't have an outside, what I would do is stamp the saying and then punch it. I find it easier to get it centered. Now, when you're doing these, I would do a strip. I measured how big this is, and it's about 2 inches, so I gave it like 2.5. And what I would do is do it on a strip so you're not wasting a ton of paper, and look at how your punch is. I want to make sure that I have it, that I stamp it so that I have it oriented to these little points. That way when I put it in, remember I'm doing the back part of the punch. I can go ahead and get it centered and punch it. That one I didn't stamp anything on. I probably will later. But I wanted to show you how to punch that. Then if I was going to use this again, I just snip that off and keep using this one. So it's really handy to make several of these. So I don't know which I like better. They're really pretty cards. They're really fun. I love this stamp set because I think the sayings don't have to be Valentine's. You could use, but it's nice that you can use other sayings like, you make me smile, sending you a big hug. That can be anytime. That doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day, because I don't send that many Valentine's cards out. So I like that I can use it for a couple of different things. So I hope you try this simple stamping, stack, cut, and shuffle technique. Make a bunch of cards because it's the beginning of the year. I don't know about you. I've been focusing on holiday cards, and now I find that some of my thinking of you are down. I need to make a lot of cards. So this is a great way to do that. So have a great day. Don't forget to check tomorrow, Celebration and the new mini catalog and the new stamp scrapbook goes live. So if you don't know where to look, just get on my website, nancybp.stampinup.net, and you can find all of those things and shop directly with me. I hope you have a great day and having a great beginning of the new year.